5,000 years ago, on the banks of the Don, the men of your clan have gathered in a sacred enclosure away from the rest of your people. You are 16 years old, and soon you will be a man. Beside you, 11 of your brothers, cousins, and kinsmen who are of a similar age stand ready. All of you are naked but for a wolf skin, and your faces are blackened with soot mixed with animal fat. One by one, you swear an oath to serve your new leader, the Koryonos, and a belt is fastened about your waist, tying the wolf skin about you, symbolizing the binding nature of your oath. Your knowledge is tested. You recite the names of your ancestors going back 30 generations. Your strength is tested. You dance the spear dance until the sweat pours from you and you can hardly breathe. The men of your clan, your father, your uncles, their cousins, command you to leave, and they turn their backs on you. Following your Koryonos, you leave the sacred enclosure and head out onto the vast plains to the west. You have a single spear, no food, and no one can help you. You must survive for half a year before you can return to your clan and win wealth through raids and take a wife in order to become a man. This is a process that began when you were 7 years old, and you left the tent of your mother to join the world of the young men. Since then, the elders have taught you the ways of your people, and all that you have learned must now be harnessed if you are to survive. You must hunt and trap wild animals. You must raid neighbouring clans to take their sheep, their cattle, their weapons and their clothes. If you are caught, they may kill you, or worse, make you their slave. After the first moon has passed, one of you lies dead after he was killed in a raid, but the rest of you now ride the horses that you have stolen. You have killed your first man. A herder tried to stop you from driving away a young cow, and you threw a stolen javelin into his chest. You know now that you are on your way to becoming a warrior. Your Koryonos leads you further to the west. You and the others of the Koryos are afraid to travel so far from your homeland, but you have sworn to obey your Koryonos, and to disobey would be the most terrible crime imaginable. You ford great rivers and cross from the grasslands into woodlands thick with elm, hazelnut, oak, hornbeam and beech. The people living in this distant land are easy prey. They live year-round in houses clustered together on great mounds, and they do not ride horses. Raiding them is easy, and they are afraid of you. So afraid that instead of driving you off like the clans of the plain, they hide in their houses when you ride up, and you take whatever you like. These foreign people even give you things so that you will not raid them. They give you cattle, sheep, furs. They even offer you women in an attempt to stay your hand. It is now time to return to your clan. In fact, it will take many moons to reach them, and already you will be late. But your Koryonos tells you that you will not return. Instead, you will all stay here in the west. You have everything you need to become men, to rule your own clan. You have taken women who will soon give you sons. Youths and men from the west are coming to join you, having heard of your success. Your new clan grows in strength, subduing more of the settled people and taking over their homes, forcing them into subservience. You soon grow into a famed warrior with a vast herd of cattle, and you already have 3 wives and 2 sons. You know that one day you will send your own sons off in a Koryos of their own. Perhaps they will likewise go west into new lands, or perhaps it will be south or north, or even back across the plains to the east. Wherever they go, you know they will carry the tradition of the Kurios with them. In my Bronze Age fantasy novel series Gods of Bronze, the heroes are part of a special kind of warband called a Kurios. This concept was a historical reality. In prehistoric Europe and Western Asia, the people of the steppe waged war against one another and against settled peoples in the form of the raid. There were no armies in the Neolithic and early Bronze Age. Conflict between groups was waged by small warbands stealing cattle and abducting women with which to strengthen their own tribes. To quote from The One-Eyed God by Chris Kershaw, these warbands were primarily the business of the adolescent boys who functioned as highly mobile guerrilla bands and at the same time learned hardiness, self-control, stealth and strategy and other warrior qualities. End quote. The Kurios was the band of these warrior novices. It was a cultic warrior brotherhood. That is, the youth's formation was as much religious as it was martial, and the ties that bound them were as strong as blood. The commonly used term for this cultic band is Mannebund, from the later German tradition. Kurios is a reconstructed word from the Proto-indo-European language, and the leader of these bands was called the Korionos. In the ancient past, the people who practiced the Kurios periodically ejected the bands of warrior youths who pushed out at the boundaries of their lands. They sometimes conquered and subjugated the people there before settling down in the new lands and sending their own sons off in turn. And in this way the tradition and the people spread across Eurasia from Ireland to India and even beyond. This activity of bands of youths preying upon the clans and people around them continued for millennia and was developed as civilizations became more sophisticated. So it's seen in the initiations of the Spartan youths in the Agoge, and in the cattle raids of the Irish, and in similar cultic bands in India. And the tradition of a group of warriors swearing unbreakable fealty to their lord is also seen in the Roman tradition of the Comitatus and the Saxon Fyrd, and in the medieval period throughout Europe. In fact, it's so familiar to us that we might not even question where it came from. It was this tradition, more than any other, more than the technology of the horses and the bronze weapons and chariots, that enabled these people to spread from the steppe across Europe to India and to ultimately change the world. To get your free copy of The Wolf God, which is a novella set in the world of Gods of Bronze, then click the link in the description below. Please like, share and subscribe. Thank you for watching.